I've been spoiled many times for shows, movies, games, and usually they weren't enough to really ruin the experience for me. Unfortunately, this time, I think I really could have benefited from not getting spoiled for this show. I got spoiled on the deaths of Rebecca and David, and I was like, oh, I mean, it's just these two characters, I mean, it shouldn't be an issue. I mean, come on, there's still like the whole story that I gotta watch and learn about, right? But yeah, no, never mind, it was kind of an issue. It was kind of an issue. Looking back on it now, I think if we had spent more time with the characters, it would have hit way harder, even if I knew it was coming. Like with Jujutsu Kaisen. First thing to come into mind, spoilers by the way. JJK is another show I got spoiled a lot in, but it had so much sauce and more development with its story and characters that the spoilers didn't really matter to me in the end. Like, I still enjoyed it so much. Yeah, I still felt pretty devastated with the deaths because, I mean, I loved those characters. In my JJK video, I said my favorite characters from when I started the show back in like 2018 was Nobara and what's his name, Nanami. And guess who fucking died last season? Like, bruh, my ass was still heartbroken, but regardless, even though I got spoiled and all that, everything else was still just insane. So it basically, everything else was made up for it, even though I knew of some major plot points. Now, this is not to say Edgerunners was mid or something like that. It's far from it. It's far from it. I honestly really enjoyed it. The animation is clean as hell, as expected from Studio Trigger. The ED is super nice. I love the vibes. It's an absolute banger. I also loved seeing the buildings from the game, as well as other various references like the sound effects and shit. The action is wonderfully visceral, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's the best description I can give. It's just, it's peak. It's perfect. The OST is also banging. All the music they used fit really well. Nothing goofy in this department at all. The typography during some call scenes is perfecto. It's so sick. It's the first time I've seen that as well. The dub is also great. Honestly, I watched it in the dub. I tried watching it in sub first, but I was like, this is kind of weird because I played the game and of course it's in English. It felt more natural, especially with the slangs. I wanted to hear them use those. I wouldn't really be able to hear that in the Japanese dub, so I just tuned into the English dub, and surprisingly, it's watchable. You know, like it's not perfect, but it doesn't make me want to turn it off 5 minutes in at least. Speaking of the dub, I was watching episode 3 and I got jump scared by Giancarlo Esposito. Like, what in the world is he doing here? Really cool to hear him in an anime though. I've never seen him do any other voice work, and I always love seeing him appear in other media. Anyways, I derailed hard as fuck, my bad. Let me get back on track here, and speaking of tracks, that first encounter with Lucy, oh boy, God help me. Literally just 2 minutes in from Lucy's introduction and I was already like, oh, say less. I'm gonna be down bad on main, forgive me for this, but legit I almost teared up when she pinned David to the wall. Like, oh my goodness, that was immaculate, bro. That was immaculate. And when she broke David out of the ambulance with the crazy ass look and shit, yep, I'm already in love. You and me both, David, you and me both. I would have been staring at her like that too. Felt my pupils turn into hearts for real, as if Ladoe was using his curse technique on me. Also, she kind of reminds me of Ramona Flowers for some reason. I don't know, just me? Like, I can't even explain why. She's just giving those vibes for some reason. Anyways, enough of the meat writing here. It's time to hop back into the issues I got with the show. Small one first, kind of a nitpick, honestly, but I found it a little bothersome that sometimes they just stay on some random still shot like a poster or some shit on the floor or something like that. Ever since that one Invincible episode where that one guy was like, oh yeah, to avoid more work for animation, we do this and that, like not showing characters' mouths or something, zooming out a lot to the lip sync or whatever the fuck. And I don't mind that, don't get me wrong, it's honestly really smart and it's practical. But with Edgerunners, low-key, they be doing that a lot. Some stills I don't mind because they actually look great and interesting, but sometimes it's like I'm on the timeout corner and I'm listening to my parents arguing or something, like damn. But anyways, another issue I have is something with, honestly, I don't know if it's a script issue, an English dub issue, or a voice acting issue, but it happens during times where the characters are calling one another. And only those times for some reason. But yeah, sometimes when they talk, it just randomly speeds up and slows down. And then there's the random stutters. I don't have a problem with stutters, but these stutters in the calls are so random.
Why call? Why? Come see him, just... Huh? He's moping, waiting, always is. Wants you back ASAP. So obvious.
Yeah, I know.
Still a no-go?
No, not yet. Got something but can't, just gotta do it. Won't take long, not long.
The only time it sounded normal was when Faraday had it in one of his lines because Giancarlo paused for a bit after saying the word again.
Excellent work. Militech's expecting you. You're free to pass. Meet me at the rendezvous point.
Whereas Kiwi and Lucy just sound like they really need to use the bathroom, so they were hurrying up with getting their lines done.
Kiwi, hey.
What's up?
Nah, nothing. Just a question need to ask.
A question?
Not like, you know, no big deal. Like how David's...
David? Fine, he's fine. For a punk. Thought he'd need hand-holding, help. But stepped up big. Big leader. Weird.
But yeah, super strange. I don't know what the fuck was up with that. It was really prevalent in episode 8. Regardless though, I don't want to shit on the VAs. They did an amazing job. Either way. And the dub is still one of the better ones. Next issue is the freaking 3-time replays they be doing. It's like I'm watching some telenovela or some shit. Like, why? And it's always 3 times. I didn't mind it at first, actually, but I could not take it when they did it with Rebecca's death. Like, what the fuck? Why would you do that to her? I was ready to silently stare at my screen in pain, but then it just felt like a comedy with that triple replay of Smasher just Goomba stomping her cute ass. Like, how am I supposed to take it seriously after that, dog? I don't even know how to feel about her death now because of that. I didn't even feel much attachment to her either, and I don't know if it's because I knew she was gonna die already or because of the show's fast pacing, but it's probably both. I think she was a great character though, nonetheless, and I really enjoyed seeing her whenever she was on screen. She was really sweet. But yeah, I don't think I could ever get over that. Oh my fucking god, like, dude. If I had like one major complaint, that would be it. Like, what was that? What was that? What was that, man? You cannot be serious, but fuck, whatever. Anyway, speaking of the fast pacing, I don't have that much of an issue with it, honestly. I think it fits because of how fast David was going in his life. You know, like, he was really rushing through things, especially with the Sandevistan, but regardless, I think I would have liked it better if it was more slow-paced or had more episodes, because honestly, I just love shows that focus on characters and develops them more throughout the whole show. Also, speaking of David and being fast, I find it funny how even though he's the fastest motherfucker of all time besides Smasher, he always kept freezing up, at least in the beginning. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I like the irony in it. Anyways, that's enough babbling about this show. I mean, like, this was like 50% good, 50% negative, I'd say. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it because, one, this was fairly easy to talk about, and also I had a lot of things to talk about it, and also I just recently watched it, and also I haven't posted anything about anime or manga in like a month now. My bad, y'all. But yeah, overall I honestly really enjoyed Cyberpunk Edgerunners. The animation, the characters, the story, especially its themes with addiction. It's heartbreaking, but it's done really, really well. Don't do drugs, kids, or anything that may cause addiction. You know, like cigarettes, you know, nicotine, porn, fucking alcohol, you know, vices, just whatever the fuck, man. Like, take care of yourselves. But yeah, it has its issues, of course, but I'd say this is definitely still a banger. I think my expectations for it were just too high. That might be one of the problems. I thought it was about to be a 10 out of 10 show. You know, I walked in here thinking, okay, this is about to be legendary. I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of this, but it felt more like an 8 out of 5 out of 10. Like, I still enjoyed it, but, you know, I feel like it could have been more. It could have been better or something like that. You know, it missed a little something. And I also had this show on my watch list for the longest time, but I hadn't felt like watching it until now, once I've finished playing Cyberpunk 2077. Gameplay on the second channel, by the way. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. Holy shit, we got a level 100 yapper over here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Always stay safe and stay hydrated, everyone, especially now during summer, and especially to my Southeast Asian homies out there. We're getting cooked these days. Okay, adios.
Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs, and party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified pedophiles.